we go again, and it seems that I have to make another video directly about this because this is how a lot of black men lose their lives, but you have a lot of black women not pointing that out. So in the video, you were able to see the fact that the woman, for whatever verbal, whatever disagreement that they were having, she proceeded to square up directly with the guy. The guy was like, yo, what is going on? What's even happening? Like, oh, she for real. She really want to. All right. She proceeds to square up, post up, make the first move. Make the first move by throwing a hand or two, whatever, directly at him. So the man properly responds with the same amount of force. Right? Now, when it took place, it looked worse than what it was because she was not prepared for somebody to actually react. She thought that it was just going to be her able to do whatever it is that she wanted to do. And you clearly saw all the men in that store heard and saw what was going on and allowed it to go on. Then on top of that, wanted to now instigate, but like, oh man, you shouldn't be sitting up there doing that. And then you saw the guy in the background, the largest guy in the room, his back was turned to the whole engagement. So he didn't know what was going on. He looked at the aftermath. He didn't ask what happened. He didn't ask who started what. He just automatically started reacting. And you heard him say during the times that he was hitting the dude, and obviously the dude was not even trying to fight the dude back because he was like, yo, the woman sat up there and started striking me. Like the dude is like, yo, I don't have no fighting here with you. Everything had to do with her and what was taking place. But the dude didn't care. He wanted to just sit up there and be swinging and swinging and swinging. He actually gave more hits than what actually took place between both the woman and the man. Again, it made no sense. It made no sense. And you intervened at the wrong time. And this is what I be talking about all the time with a lot of guys out here. Y'all come in when you already know that the woman decided, hey, I want to sit up there and start something up. I want to start a fight. I want to get licks in for no reason. I want to start posting up. I want to start squaring up. I want to start acting like a man. So again, I'm giving you the example. All the men in that store, and there was a multitude of men in that store, they allowed her to do it. They allowed her to get away with it. Ain't none of them ever try to stop her at all. Ain't none of them try to get into the way, but like, hey, you shouldn't be trying to get into the face. It wasn't none of them doing that. They allowed it to go on to the point where somebody had to react. And that's crazy to me. That's 100% crazy. And then after everything took place, the dude in the grave was like, get out the store. Get out the store now before I sit up there and hit you again. Dog, you fighting somebody who ain't even trying to fight you. He already used energy on the person that was coming directly at him. He used necessary force, which was not even a lot. Not even a lot. But like I said before, this is how this normally goes, especially in the black community. When you have things like this going on, you always got somebody trying to save one, coming up to the scene, not knowing what's going on, but then they want to pipe up. They want to act like the toughest dude directly on the court, not knowing that she's the one that started it. That's crazy. And like I said, in 9 times out of 10, instances like this will end in a loss of life. Because the situation was handled. The situation was dealt with. He decided to intervene into something that had nothing to do with him at all. Normally when things like this happen and you tell somebody to sit up there and leave, they'll leave. And then they'll come back with something else and then they'll air out the whole store. And then everybody's sitting there looking stupid. But like I said, this is what it looks like when nobody wants to intervene in the very beginning. Everybody wants to intervene in the end when it's too late. Let me get this straight. I have to try to do this while I am recording. So I'm looking at the tail end of the video. I'm looking at what seems to be some J's. I'm looking at the shorts. I'm looking at the jogging pants. I'm looking at the Red Wings jersey and clear cut. They're obviously in Africa. I'm looking at the 50-50 caps. I'm looking at the chains. All of this is Black American culture. This is Black American style. Some people like to say that, oh, here you go trying to claim every single thing. When you have certain types of attire that is put together and dressed a certain type of way, yes, it goes directly to those people. Nobody else in America was dressing like this. I'm just going to be real. Putting on chains, having grills, the 50-50 cap with some J's, with a jersey on, and nobody else is really doing that. The moment in time that black people started doing it, this was called ghetto, this was called hood, and all this other type of stuff. But then magically in this timeline, we're dealing with everybody doing it. And now it just seemed as a style. It seemed as something cool to sit up there and do, which is crazy to me. Because last time I checked, people from all around the planet have stated that black people in America have no culture. They don't move anything, they don't shift anything, they don't add anything. But it's everybody else around the world who has a culture, know who they are, know where it is that they're from, got their own language, got their own dance, got their own rhythm. Even the dance steps that I'm seeing, I'm like, this is not African. I'm just going to sit up here. I'm just saying. I've seen African dances. Beautiful, artistic, great, beautiful dances. I've seen those. What I'm witnessing and looking at here are the dances that I've seen black Americans do on TikTok. Again, in America. But yet people want to sit up here and say again that black Americans don't have a culture. We don't have a style. We don't have a thing that is in a sense ours. If that is the case, then why isn't everybody else just copying white folks when they do country music? When they got their Levi jeans with the cowboy hat and the guitar with a cow and a horse. Why isn't everybody around the world copying that? But they're not. But yet that's culture over there when you think about it. Now, again, I'm not going to dive too deep into the whole meaning of cowboy and how that came about. Some of us, if you don't, it is what it is. You can read a book, Google it, all that other type of good stuff. But all I'm saying at the end of the day is that I primarily see those of other nationalities, religions, and countries copying what it is that black Americans are doing and have been doing for the longest time possible, but then want to turn around and speak negatively about us. That's crazy. And I also want to note that primarily black Americans have been the main ones giving credit, giving love, giving respect to Africa. Sitting up there like, hey, the language is dope, the language is beautiful. The way that you guys are getting mistreated, the way that you guys are being publicized wrongly by way of the media, it's wrong and we understand it, but we're going to show our love and dedication to you by wearing kente cloth and representing Africa and always talking about it and always bigging it up. It's crazy how this works out. It's crazy how this works out. But the funniest part about this is, even though you have people over there in Africa doing this, their parents would never actually allow them to do this within their homes. This realistically is a no-no. I done seen a lot of African parents and kids talk about how it is that their parents don't want them mimicking or dressing or trying to style themselves as black Americans because they look at us as degenerates. They look at us as nothing positive, which is crazy to me. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's crazy because I'm like, last time I checked, the only reason y'all able to even make it over here on a boat is because we were here. We went through all of toiling the soil, the bloodshed. We went through the tears. We went through families getting torn apart. In a sense, our villages here, our homes here, our cities and our towns being burnt down countless times. Wherever it is that we set up shop, it was turned into a pond. It was turned into a river. It was turned into a park. It was destroyed, and then mowed over, put asphalt on top, and turned into a strip mall. Whatever you can name, that's what's happened to a lot of our cities and our towns to erase what was originally there. But like I said, we don't have no culture. We don't have no type of influence out here. This is just Africans being African, dancing their own African way and dressing in their own African style.